Hello guys, it's John here doing the Beyblade ranking. This time we have every 4D bay. So I want to do this ranking for a while, but I was waiting to do the other rankings, but I don't have everything I need for those, and I don't know if or when those will come out for Metal Fight. I'll talk more about that towards the end of the video, but for now, let's just get into the 4D ranking. Number 19, Protommesis. This isn't really a 4D bay, like, at all, but I don't know when I talk about this bay, so... It's a single part bay that was meant for the beta stadium. Doesn't really do anything other than that. It has its own gimmick with this like height change, that's kinda cool, but it's like barely even a bay. Just kind of exists. It's cool, but I'm not putting it above any other 4D bay. Number 18, Eldra Guardian. Eldra Guardian is fine. I like some of the patterns on Guardian, but it's not like that much better than Drago Destroy, or not really better at all, honestly, but it's different. Color scheme's fine. S130 MB, sure, it's just kind of a defensive Eldrago. It exists for sure, and that's all I can really say about it. I don't know, I just prefer Destroy's things, kind of just fine. Color scheme's weird, but I kind of like it, but that's all I can really say about this thing, honestly. Number 17. Wing Pegasus. Wing Pegasus, kind of like Drago Destroy, or Guardian, where it's just a variant, 90 WF, kind of boring by 4D standards. I like the red Pegasus clear wheel, I like the face here, the color scheme, looks kind of clean, and Wing, I like Wing, it's at least more unique, I would say, than Drago Destroy, which is why I have it above it, but I'm not really a fan of how this thing works. I don't feel like it does quite enough. It's just kind of there. But, yeah, I'll put it one spot above Guardian, I guess, but that's all I'm going to do for it. Number 16, Duo Uranus. Our first proper bay here. This thing, it's tall, 230 WD, which we've already seen with Flame Bixus, but sure, I guess. I like the face, but I don't know, Uranus, I've never been a fan of like these smaller clear wheels like this. Duo's kind of cool. It's like a weird balance thing going on, kind of. The mode changes, but I don't know. It just felt a little boring to me. I don't care much for it. I think there's another bay that's better that has the same combo. This one just kind of exists. That's really good competitively, and this video isn't based on the competitive, just how much I like them, so for that, Duo isn't really great for me. Number 15, Blitz Unicorno. Blitz Unicorno is decent. I like the motif a lot. I've always liked Unicorno. Clear wheel's nice. Blitz is fine. You have like the assault and barrage modes. I have it in assault mode right now. Pretty cool how they like, kind of segmented these blades to use them differently. I like that, but 100 RSF, it's pretty boring. They just slapped Regal's combo onto this thing. It's an alright bay. The gimmick is okay, but beyond that, it's a little bland, but not bad. It just would have hoped for a little more out of a Unicorno evolution. Number 14, Omega Dragonus. Omega Dragonus is weird. Clear wheel face are fine, 85 XF, kinda whatever. Omega, as a metal wheel's pretty whatever, honestly. This whole bay just exists. However, it does look really, really nice. I mean, the purple here is doing a lot for it. I don't know, I've always just really liked painted metal. I like the color scheme in general, like this teal and purple thing going on. So for me, this bay is going to rank fairly high, compared to what it should. I mean, it's not that high up on this list, but it's a pretty boring bay. If we're talking about like the Hyperblade version, or Legends version, it'd be lower, but I just like this color scheme a lot, honestly. Number 13, Scythe Kronos. Scythe Kronos is solid. Face clear wheel are fine. T125 EDS, sure, EDS is pretty nice, and then Scythe, pretty around his two modes, one where this plastic is stationary, or this one where it's free spinning. A cool enough gimmick, I like it. It just seems like a really just solid bay. Don't have much to say about this one, other than that, it's just nice. Number 12, Flash Sagittario. I actually really like the Sagittario 2 clear wheel a lot. I like the color scheme on this one. I like the face here. 230 WD, I wish they did more with this. I feel like they could have done like 2 sets of claws if they wanted to do 230, but I don't know. Just is a little bit unfortunate compared to what, you know, it had, and I think they should have carried that, and while I do like this Beyblade more than Uranus, it still should have been better. Flash, though, you have the two modes, down mode and this like attack mode, which I have. I just think it's interesting how oval it is. Doesn't really make sense for a stamina bay, but whatever. I think it's just a pretty cool bay that could have done a lot more, but still, it gets an okay ranking, I would say. Number 11, Diablo Nemesis. This is probably way too low for a lot of people, which, fair enough. I do like the face a ton, it looks really cool. Clear Wheel is pretty cool as well. Diablo in this mode is just kind of alright. XD, you got the couple modes here, which I'm not really big in either one, they just kind of exist. However, I'll actually have to take this one apart to kind of go through the actual unique mode here, but when you take this thing apart, take this off, do this, and you start to kind of rearrange this bay, then this is where this bay kind of gets really cool. Now I will say, aesthetically, the other mode was pretty solid. This one, pretty ugly, but I think that's okay for something like Nemesis, but with this, now this part can actually free spin, and when you hear that, it's because this part down here, XD, actually makes this part kind of move and just change up how it works. That caught there, but yeah, this is how it works, which is really interesting. I know something like Trick in Burst does something similar, but we've never had something that uses like another part like this, because Trick was just self-contained to the driver. This is really interesting. I think there's just nothing else like it. I like this gimmick a lot, but at the same time, I just don't feel like XD is unique enough or interesting enough to make this matter. It would have been really cool if they maybe had like a rubber part or like a metal part or something. I don't know. There's like really crazy to try and make the performance seem wildly different. Like if this was like rubber and the inside was metal or something, that could be interesting. Or even just the inside be plastic and the outer part was rubber. I don't know, whatever. But I think there's a lot they could have done here that they didn't do, and I still think XD's enough to really carry this thing, even though I do like it. Plus, I'm not huge on it aesthetically. I like the other mode well enough, but I don't know. I think this base should be a lot higher than it is, but I also almost want to put it lower, but the gimmick is unique enough to where I should at least give it a pretty decent spot. Number 10, Gray Cygnus. I know we're following up one of those interesting bays of the line with this, but anyway. Cygnus face is really nice, and yeah, the clear wheel just looks phenomenal. 145 WD is boring, but Krace, I just think it looks really cool. It's the two modes, counter mode, and then this kind of defensive mode where this rotates 45 degrees, which I think is just really cool. Or is it? No, I think is it 45 or 90? Anyway. I just think something like this is really cool. I like moving parts, and it's not the most interesting bay, but something that's kind of interesting. And for me, this thing just aesthetically, it's not crazy, but it just looks nice, especially like this clear wheel and base combo. Just, yeah, that's what got this thing as high as it is. This bay really has no business actually being at 10th, I'm gonna be honest, but I don't care. I just like how this thing looks too much to not put it this high. Number 9, Veraries. This bay, this is a weird one. I like the face design, and the wheel here is weird because it's basically almost like a pre-hybrid wheel, with a clear wheel and metal wheel just being one single part, just a wheel. Looks cool. Not my favorite actually, but it's still good enough. Has the gimmick where these parts will start inside, eventually come out for more defense, sure. You have DD, which, you have like wide ball, sharp, flats, not the most interesting in terms of, you know, choices, but it's still a cool gimmick. And also this bay is LR, so the whole thing was like 12 modes, but I mean realistically it's like 6 modes because one happens during battle, but anyway. It's a really cool bay. I'm just not big on the appearance of it. I think it's still nice, but nothing crazy, and in terms of gimmicks, I just don't think this gimmick was as interesting as they might have hoped, and Delta Drive's cool, like conceptually, it's just I wish that the choices were a bit better. I had the same complaint with like Zeta, for example, in Beyblade First God, but it's still a really cool bay. At least gotta give it top half, but I just don't really want to put it any higher than that. Number 8, Big Bang Pegasus. This way just looks nice. I like the face design, clear wheel, the PC frame, that combo is really nice, Big Bang is cool. FD, Final Drive, I think, you know, starting off a little bit more calm, getting crazier. It's a decent gimmick, but nothing crazy. Big Bang, you can orient this in some different ways, but I don't know, I'm not like huge in what it does regardless. I don't know. I just don't think that the Big Bang modes are as impactful as I would have hoped. They're cool. I'm not saying that they're worthless or anything. I just wish that maybe there's a little bit more to them. Maybe it could have been designed a little bit differently. And of course, the whole Final Drive gimmick has always been a little bit questionable. I still think it's a cool bay though, regardless. And aesthetically, I think it's great, which is why it's getting a pretty nice placement. But again, not perfect. But I still do like Big Bang Pegasus a lot. Number 7. Fang Leone. Fang Leone, okay, this one's a weird one. So, face design's nice, clear wheel, I like the green on this thing a lot. Fang is solid, you have, of course, this defense mode, you have counter mode as well. Both, I think, do their job. It's a good Leone evolution, I would say. 130 W2D, sure. This bay is just very solid, it does what it needs to do for a new Leone. Now, you might be wondering, why is something like this so high, whereas something else I thought was just kind of solid, like Scythe Kronos, so low? Well, it's because I'm biased. This was actually my first ever 4D bay. I was very excited for 4D for months. Finally got one with Fang Leone. I was like 10 years old, so I was just really excited to get this bay, and well, that's why it's as high as it is, because it was my first ever 4D bay. Really interesting to check out at the time, back in 2011, so I just like it a lot because of that, and that's why it's as high as it is. Number 6, Phantom Orion. Phantom Orion is cool. I like the face clear wheel well enough, color scheme's nice. BD, Bearing Drive, this thing is insane. It's always been insane. While I'm not keeping competitive like as the main focus here, I do think this thing, I mean, just battling it like as a kid, it was always like overpowered, and I would kind of avoid using it sometimes just because I knew how good it was, but yeah, the Phantom Wheel thing is really cool. You kind of change up how it works by flipping it, and of course you have the plastic core, giving it this like outer weight distribution focus, which, again, just in stock combo stuff, I mean, having that plus BD is crazy. Again, battling this thing as a kid was always just, this thing was just a monster, honestly, and I remember a lot because of that. I think it's a cool bay regardless, so it ranks fairly high for me. Number 5, Katakotal. Katakotal is interesting. Also, is a name that I always pronounce wrong, but whatever. Really like this face design and clear wheel. I'm always a fan of yellow. 125 RDF is cool. I always thought RDF was a really interesting part. And then Death is a really nice metal wheel. Defense mode and attack mode. This is attack mode. Defense mode's cool, but I always just found the kind of pattern here on attack mode to be really interesting. So this bay, it's definitely solid. I'd say I like it more than things like, you know, Fang Leone and Scythe Kronos conceptually, but also just aesthetically, this might be my favorite 4D bay, honestly. I just think that the metal wheel and the yellow here just look really, really good. I just like this pattern so much in the metal, so for me, I gotta put it up pretty high. Number 4, Beat Links. I remember wanting this thing for months as a kid and finally got it. It's a really nice bay. I like the face, I like the clear wheel, metal wheel looks cool. TH170WD. TH170 is a really interesting part. I always like the kind of different heights you could, you know, give this thing. 170, 195, 220. The beat wheel, nothing crazy. Like, you can move the PC frame to block up this part partially, which is nice, but again, nothing crazy. The solid bay, I always just like the height change gimmick a lot on this thing. Again, I don't know why, but kind of just stuck with me. I like the design. I think it's interesting when bays use colors that you don't see often, like brown, for example, and I think they made it work really well, so I always just like this bay. It was kind of the first bay I remember trying to really get from random boosters and stuff, and yeah, just a classic, honestly. Number 3, Fusion Hades. Really nice face design. I always like this clear wheel and just kind of the color it had. Fusion was really cool. 8145 SWD, really nice as well. I think Fusion really does it for me. I like the idea with like being able to flip this thing with like the metal and the rubber. Just a bay I've always liked a lot. I think aesthetically it looks really cool, and I think having the rubber up here just makes it striking compared to most other bays in Metal Fight. So that also does a lot, and I think conceptually just having the rubber here, I also kind of like SWD quite a bit, so this one again just kind of ranks highly because I just like it. That's kind of what this video is, just bays that I like, and this one is definitely another one that I like. Number 2, Jade Jupiter. Yeah, Jade Jupiter is just great. Nice face design, I like the clear wheel, I like the purple in this one. S130RB is nice, and then Jade, really interesting. I like how you have like the 4 metal balls. I like how you can, you know, lock it with the metal wheel modes if you want to. Gimmick isn't anything like crazy, but it was still interesting. I think having, you know, metal balls in the metal wheel, especially at the time, was really, really interesting. RB is cool as well. Just a really solid bay, and one that I also like a lot physically. I like the purple this thing a lot. I always just like kind of how the metal balls look, and kind of like the magenta you could see underneath. Also, kind of the almost awkward grayish color of the track and bottom here quite a bit, the pink rubber. Aesthetically, this thing's always just stood out a lot. And also, it is a pretty rare bay. I remember pulling this thing, and that was really exciting, honestly. I did have one from Sonocon, that one's kind of weird, and I had the Hyperblade one, but it's not the same color, so getting a proper one was really nice. So, yeah, I just like this bay a lot. Number 1, Drago Destroy. Drago Destroy is a weird bay for me because normally, as a kid, I never really gravitated towards Drago, although I think a lot of that was because I had a really nice launcher setup and I hated having to change it for a left spin bay, but anyway. Over time, I've just come to appreciate this bay a lot. Of course, it has a great face design. Very unique having, you know, the metal up here with, you know, Drago 3 and the plastic and the rubber down here. So Drago Destroy is just really nice in general. Of course, can kind of make it more attack-oriented or more, you know, absorption-oriented. FS, Final Survive, is really nice, starting off to be, you know, an attack-oriented bay, shifting to stamina, which works really well with the absorption gimmick. I know this thing isn't actually as good as it sounds. I know the gimmicks aren't perfect, and this thing, I know people say is too tall, whatever, but still, I care a lot about bays conceptually, and I think conceptually this is such a cool idea. A bay that can attack, but then shifts to being stamina-oriented, has the rubber, and also being left spin to kind of absorb spin, equalize, and become stronger in that sense. I just think it's a really cool idea, and while it wasn't executed perfectly, I just think that the concept really stands out from a lot of other bays, even in 4D where concepts were a lot better. And aesthetically, this bay is just cool. I like the metal a lot, it almost seems like darker, which is cool. And yeah, I think the blue and the red down here, which looks really nice, so yeah, for me, this is my favorite 4D bay. I bounced around quite a bit deciding what my favorite 4D bay is, but for me, this is number 1, so yeah. So there you go, my 4D ranking. I don't know how interesting this video was, but hopefully it was somewhat interesting. I do hope to eventually do a hybrid wheel ranking video. That could be in a few months or a couple of years. I have no idea. I'm still missing a couple of bays that would be needed for that video, and also need to work out how I want to make it, because there's a lot of hybrid wheel bays I feel like I could count, but also I don't have to. It's weird. I'll have to think about it. As far as pre-hybrid wheel and 0G stuff goes, I don't know if those will ever happen, honestly. Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, those are a ways off. I just hope to do the hybrid wheel one at some point, but yeah. Anyways, that's the video, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.